Hey the YouTubers, so this is Michelle. Just doing a real quick update before I head out. It's Saturday. It's really nice outside. Well, a little bit, seasonal. It's getting there. It has been kind of cold here in New York City for the spring, but I'm going to get out today to the gardens. We have a local botanical garden here, and I offered to help them out. They have this annual cherry blossom festival, so I'm going to be doing that here in New York City. And it's looking great outside. The front of my house, my front lawn is looking good, and as you could see, I cut my hair, and I wasn't too, happy with the hair the way it was growing. I tried, growing it out and, just experimenting and, looks, trying different looks and so on, but, it is what it is. I mean, I have a certain things I really can't change, too much, or, I need some professional help. And, um, because I can't, do those things on my own. So I guess that's important, really important for trans people to, reach out, really understand and, really acknowledge your limitations, things that you can do and cannot do. I tend to be like more of a can-do person, like, I can do this, I can do that, and, I always try to do something or try to see if I could attempt to do something. That's just the type of person I am before I actually, reach out to somebody and ask for some kind of help. Yeah, I think this is working, right? Let's see, I had a couple of things. The job is going very well. The new job, I've been reassigned at work at the health department where I work here in New York City. And people are really nice. I work in HR now, human resources, and people generally are, very supportive and friendly. As I guess you would expect. People in HR. If they're not friendly in HR, then maybe that's not an organization to work for. That's not a very good work environment. So, but yeah, people generally are okay. I'm working on a new position, so I'm busy trying to carve out a new sort of a new footprint for myself for the type of work that I'm doing. And it's interesting, learning new and learning from other people. So, I'm happy. And we're also at a different location too, which is not the nicest area. We're outside of sort of central lower Manhattan, where most people think of, when they hear New York City, they think of, that larger, more popular borough, I should say, more populated, and it's not larger, but it's, where it's sort of all the activity is and where the tourists go and so forth. But we're sort of out of that area, City Hall, and getting used to this new location. So it's been going well. Commuting has been a little bit longer for me, but it's been okay. Um, as far as dating goes, haven't really, had much luck with that as far as like going out and or just meeting new people. I haven't really. That's something I really need to work on. That's something that just generally socializing, for me kind of has always been difficult, like making new friends and maintaining those relationships. I do well with meeting new people. I seem to excel at sort of those customer service or, interpersonal skills, meeting new people for the first time. I've always had jobs like that, like where I've always like worked with new people or met new people, and but I seem to have the problems like just maintaining relationships, and strengthening, the relationships that I have and building upon them. That's where I kind of miss out, and but like other people tell me, like with relationships, requires work just like anything else. Requires some amount of effort and some amount of work. I mean, they just don't happen by themselves. You need to put some effort into it. So, talking about it is helpful. Just talking about it, and so I will do that. I will put more effort into trying to build those relationships, um, and maintain those friendships, the few friendships that I have. One thing that's been problematic for me in terms of socializing and building relationships is just finding other trans people here. You would think like it's New York City, but I mean it's probably me. I know it's like me, and um, I'm just not that outgoing. That sort of extroverted sort of person that just likes to go out, put myself out there. I tried, but it's just oh well. I just have to keep trying, and put myself um, in the right places, Um, and I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to the summer, doing different things and maybe going to some of the groups, some of the meetup groups and so forth, where, and there aren't too many of them, I mean, there's pubs and bars here in New York City, but most of them, the majority of them are like either gay bars or lesbian bars, and really aren't many like bars where just trans people meet. The few that there are out there, actual meetup groups, I mean, they happen really, really late at night. A lot of these people seem to be night owls. I just don't live that kind of lifestyle. I'm usually in bed. I'm like a middle-aged person, like older, like almost like a senior citizen. Like I'm in bed like 11:30 or 12 o'clock, and that's just sort of habits I've developed, and it's pretty typical, I think, for most middle-aged plus people. I mean, for me, that people I've met know, like I just don't stay up all hours, but I did when I was younger too, and my daughters do that too. They stay up all night, and I wonder about that. And I think that okay, so I try not to get on their case about them, staying up all hours and waking up at 1 o'clock in the morning, 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and so forth. And but oh well, that's something that I did when I was their age too. I have been also working more on the voice. As you could see, also trying to understand why. Also a little bit concerned about the health too, and see how that kind of ties into it. Why I've had so many upper respiratory infections. I seem to get a lot of mucus too, which interferes with my ability to do the female voice, and just trying to understand, what it is that I need to do, in order to correct that. Is it my diet, or is it supplements, or what is it I need to do in order to, or maybe there isn't anything. I spoke to my doctor about it, and he didn't say anything. I also have this issue with another thing that concerns me about health is like waking up every morning like wet, like just damp, not necessarily soaking wet, but just and I wouldn't call it necessarily like a hot flash, but it's like I wake up like just kind of like a little sweaty every morning, a little damp. My back of my neck is kind of like a little clammy, and so my doctor said it was the hormones, because I'm a little bit of a hypochondriac, so I always like think the worst, like maybe I have the initial stages of HIV infection or something like that, or whatever, and that's the reason why I'm getting these frequent infections, these upper respiratory infections, and blah blah, and so forth and so on. So, um, but not that I should, be tested. I mean, I think that's important for everybody to be tested. But if you are sexually active, which I'm not, so I'm not. I don't really consider myself at high risk, but still the same. Me being a semi hypochondriac, I always think the worst. Uh, but um, but that seems to be normal. It's just like one of the annoying side effects of HRT. When you're on these hormones, just get some of those things. But I'm happy, right now with the regimen that I'm on, and really happy. I had a blood test. My doctor took my blood, and I wanted to just double up on that. And I wanted to hear from other girls too. I really don't get much feedback um, from these videos that I put up, and it would be nice to get a little bit of feedback or um, ask questions or what you would like to hear. Again, I'm sort of an older sort of somebody that transition started much later in life. Um, I don't regret that, but that's just the way it is. And if any of you older girls or any younger girls, whoever, want to know anything particular about me and what I do and so forth, and my transition experience, happy to answer any questions about that. Um, yeah, I started talking about my new voice coach. She's great, actually. I've been seeing her weekly, although I may go back to like bi-weekly. She has a lot of experience doing stage and music, so she has a piano and she plays the piano, and while we're doing this session, and working with the pitch and working with intonation and all this other stuff, and trying to get my voice a little bit better. It's been a big challenge for me, just the voice, but I think I'm okay. I mean, I think I do all right. I mean, it's not a great voice. I'm not totally happy with it. Like I said, I do strain a little bit. I do get a little bit of mucus, and somebody told me that, it's probably maybe have too much dairy. I think, yeah, my voice coach mentioned that about, because she works with a lot of singers. She does a lot of voice coaching for performers, both stage and music, and she says, yeah, a lot of singers avoid dairy, avoid anything like that, because that tends to be mucus forming, and that interferes with their instrument, their voice. So, so maybe that's it. And I like dairy. I like eating like things like cheese. I'm not a big milk drinker, but I like things like yogurt and cheese and ice cream and stuff like that. So it's been tough giving that up. Um, I think that's about it. I'm at about 13 minutes right now. I thought this was going to be a really short update, but as it turns out, I'm going to head out now. And so I will see you maybe in a week or so and give you another update. Okay, bye bye now.